reference librarian for the Worcester branch of the Wayne County Public Library. And if you hadn't heard, our summer reading theme is all together now. And so we took that in an outdoorsy camping kind of theme here at Wayne County Public Library. So, of course, my first thought was s'mores. And so for today's library kitchen, I'm going to be showing you how to make a brownie s'mores pie. And this is really easy to make and you don't need too many ingredients. Now, what you're going to need is a graham cracker crust. So this is one I picked up for like $1, $1.50. You could certainly make your own, but I wanted to save on time. You are also going to need brownie mix. And again, this was like $1.50 at my local grocery store. It's just brownie mix. And then you're going to need whatever your brownie mix tells you that you're going to need to make the brownies. So where I say that it's going to be like 4 ingredients, that's like 1 is this package, but you will need these things back here. All right, so then you're also going to need mini marshmallows because it can't be a s'more without your mini marshmallows. And then for special treats, chocolate hazelnut spread. So also called Nutella, but you can get off-brand. And at least in my family, we all love Nutella. So those are our ingredients. And the first thing we are going to do is actually to stick our pie shell in the oven alone for just like 8 to 10 minutes, and that's at 350 degrees. And that's just to get it, nice and warm for when we put in our brownie mix, which is step 2. So right now I am making sure the plastic is off because that would be a disaster. Voila. And I'm going to go ahead and stick this in our preheated oven at 350 for 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. While our graham cracker crust is pre-baking in our oven, I'm going to go ahead and put together our brownie mix. So in this case, we're just going to follow the recipe on the back. And so in mine, I need the contents of this plus 2/3 a cup of oil, 1/4 a cup of water, and 2 eggs. Yours may be different depending on what brand you use. So just follow what's on the back. Here's my water. Here's my eggs. I brought them in my oven mitt so I would have an oven mitt and to keep them safe. And then we need some oil according to the box. And I'm going to get this mixed up. So at this point, if your kiddos are like, hey, I hate s'mores, you can just make some brownies and you only have a slightly baked graham cracker shell. But let's make our full s'mores pie and it'll be delicious. All right, I'm going to set this aside until our graham cracker crust is ready for us, and I will see you for our next step. All right, so I am back. I have a now slightly browned graham cracker crust, so that is obviously going to be our base. And if you remember, we already put together our brownie mix according to box instructions. So next step is actually just going to be to pour this whole thing in here. Now it's going to be very full. I've made this before, and it's going to reach just about the top. The first time I made it, I was actually like, this is going to fit, but yes. Now, because this is so thick, in our next step, once it's full, we're going to bake it for a pretty long period of time. I've made this once before, as I mentioned. It took about 50 minutes. So if you look at your box instructions, and again, yours may be different, mine has instructions for an 8x8 inch pan, and that's about, that's like a square version of a round cake pan. So I'd say probably start at around that, but if you want to, maybe set your timer for even 35 minutes, and then just start checking every 5 to 10 minutes to be safe. Let's get all this batter out of here. Voila. All right. So our full pie ready to go back in the oven. Again, we're keeping our oven at 350 degrees. And because I've done this before with this exact same brand of brownie mix, I'm going to go ahead and put it in for 50 minutes. But for your own, depending, you may want to check a little bit earlier to see if your brownie pie is done. So our step after it bakes is going to be involving putting the toppings on. So in 50 minutes, I will be back and we will get going on the toppings. All right, I just pulled my brownie pie out of the oven. Again, it took 45 to 50 minutes because it was so thick, but follow the directions on your brownie mix for the thickest layer. Now, you may see that I have this ugly crack here on my pie, but that is okay because we're going to cover it up. And we're going to cover it up with approximately a 1/4 cup of our chocolate hazelnut spread, aka Nutella, if you're springing for Dame brand. And so I think just one more spoonful should do it. Okay. Now, because the pie is still warm, it will start to melt the Nutella, and that will actually make it easier to spread. So don't worry if it starts to melt. And then just use whatever you have on hand that'll make it easier to spread this out. I actually brought my one of my frosting scrapers, I guess. And look, now you can't even see the crack. Beautiful. I wouldn't use too much Nutella. As mentioned, I've made this before. It's very rich. It's delicious, but it's very rich. And you're going to get a lot of that richness coming from this Nutella. All right. And then, of course, you can't have s'mores without marshmallows. So you're going to use anywhere from 1/4 to half of a package of these small marshmallows right here on top. And then we're just going to spread these out and broil for just the tiniest bit of time. So we get a light toasting. So earlier when I made my my one at home, my version of this at home, I broiled for 4 minutes because I got distracted. It's probably a minute too long. It was a little too toasty looking for me. If you are someone who likes a good burnt marshmallow, I know y'all are out there, definitely go for longer. Okay. So I'm just going to throw this back in the oven for, just a couple moments, get the marshmallows kind of gooey, and then we will be back and we'll see how our s'mores brownie pie turns out. Our brownie s'mores pie is out of the oven. Now, before I serve it, I do want to let it cool down. It can be served slightly warm, but you don't want it to be too warm because then it's really hard to eat. So I hope you all have a wonderful summer and enjoy, if you make this elevated s'mores pie dessert. Thanks for joining me.